The information and discussions shared on The Love Show are from personal accounts and experiences. Listener discretion is advised. This episode contains explicit language and frank discussions of adult themes or sexual content that may not be suitable for all audiences. Any communications, considerations, or recommendations are not a substitute for medical, psychological, or licensed professional help in wellness or recovery. Please seek a qualified practitioner regarding specific needs or concerns. We thank you and hope you enjoy the show.
Welcome to The Love Show, an exploration of love, romance, relationships, and sacred sexuality. This is your invitation to dive deeper into your innermost self and strengthen the bonds of love and intimacy. Jennifer Rose is an international psychic medium, transformational guide, channel, writer, and healer. With the help of fellow trailblazers, Jennifer's mission is to combine timeless wisdom and modern spiritual awareness to transform and evolve humanity, all while encompassing healthy transformative love, epic beauty, and divine connection. Now here is your host, Jennifer Rose.
Good evening, everyone. Hello, I'm Jennifer Rose, and this is The Love Show on the Sacred Spiral Network. Happy Monday and happy new week to everybody. And thank you all for joining me here this evening, too. Very excited to, in just a few minutes, be welcoming Naomi and Jordan, creators of The Space Between. And we're going to talk all about love and relationships here today and how to make them better. So please stay with us for the hour. It's going to be very enlightening and informing. So I hope you all are doing well once again, and a couple of quick announcements for you all. This coming Friday on my sister's show, Embracing Infinity, my special guest is Melissa Callahan, and I'm super excited to be having her joining me for another enlightening, informative, high-level discussion on the higher self. So we're very excited to be getting together. I met her through Colin Walker, who you all know is a good friend of mine. And so it was a good match that we were able to put together. Next Monday, everybody, on The Love Show, your beloved Steve and PJ Spur, you all know the psychic cowboy from Texas, and his beloved wife, who's also an intuitive counselor and so lovely, will be joining me as my special guest on The Love Show. And we're going to talk all about their marriage and how they've made it work and their family and everything. So it's going to be really great. Very excited to be welcoming them onto The Love Show. So thank you again, all. And let's just say hello to, we've got a few friends that have started to join us as well, too. My dear friend, Jeffrey, welcome. Good to see you. Thank you for joining me, my friend. You got here early. Hello, hello, MZ. Nice to see you. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for coming on and supporting. Actually, let me put these up here for y'all, too. And really appreciate the love and support. We're on multiple pages here today on Facebook, YouTube, and on Instagram as well. So that's always fun to be on these multiple pages as well. Miss Jennifer McCormick over for the UK. Now, Miss Jennifer, my guests, Naomi and Martin, are, I think I said Jordan, forgive me. It is Naomi Jordan and Martin Pembroke. That's what I got wrong. I'm so sorry. I can see them backstage waiting for me. Naomi and Martin, forgive me. So Miss Jennifer McCormick, they're also from the UK. So you stayed up late, they stayed up late to be with all of us here today. So lots of love for being a trooper with the late hour here today as well, too. So, and thank you, darling, for putting the hashtag live over in the comments. That helps the algorithms over on Facebook and YouTube know that we're doing something great here, and it kind of spreads the love out in those feeds a little bit more too. So we greatly appreciate that. If you too could press a little heart on our video over on Facebook, that helps quite a bit as well. Any tags for somebody you know might be interested in listening right now to give them a little reminder. Any shares also helps as well. And also you can give all of us a follow over on Facebook and a subscribe over on YouTube as well too. My channel is new for just a couple of months now. It's at Medium Jennifer Rose. So I would love a little like press of the button. It's a nice way to say I love you. Hopefully you've gotten something out of it, and so greatly appreciate that as well too. And please also subscribe to the Sacred Spiral Network, Naomi and Martin, and myself over on Facebook as well too. So we thank you for all of that too. It spreads the love and also shares information with all of us. So we get to just be so interconnected as the network keeps growing and we keep expanding out with so much beautiful love. So we're very blessed. I want to say hello to Miss Vivian Ishimuro. Thank you for joining us. You have stayed on after a couple of shows already here today. So thank you, my friend, as has Jennifer McCormick. So aloha to you, Vivian, over in Hawaii. Great to see you. And our friend James Edward has joined us as well. Thank you. Hello, my friend. Great to see you. And there's Kelly Brickle also giving us some support and love as well too. Hello. Now, everybody, Kelly Brickle is the I'm sure you all know this, but just in case anyone's new here, she is the producer, founder, and creator and owner of the Sacred Spiral Network. So without her, all of these fabulous, wonderful shows that are on all week long would not be possible. So we're very grateful to her that she has created a space where we can all share in love and spirituality, growth, knowledge, awareness, and the connections have just kept growing and growing and growing. So it's just like this web of love that just keeps connecting and connecting. And so we're so grateful also that Spirit World has helped to create all of this as well with us and brought all of this together. So a lot of blessings here. So I know life is a little crazy, everybody. I haven't met one person who has said, this year has just been so easy and peaceful. I'm just like, can't wait for something to happen. It's been quite full speed for just about everybody I've spoken to. And so it seems like the theme that has been showing up recently is just keep going. Just keep going. There's always going to be surprises. There's always going to be twists and turns. And even when the things aren't going right, they're wrong. Even when things aren't going right, things still do go right. So in other words, if it seems like that happened, and that happened, it was supposed to go this way, and you're like, not again, not again, not again, it's okay. But there's always the blessings that come along in the way. And we just have to remember those as well too, because it can be very easy to focus on what went wrong or what we're upset about. And that's totally okay, because that's part of being human. But don't forget about what also went right today, what also went right this month, what also has gone right this year, what also is right about that person who may have disappointed you as well too. So just so we keep the harmony, just so we keep the balance. But I know we're can be a little bit tired, but we've made it through half the year just about. And you know what, everybody, my favorite season is this weekend. Which also reminds me, one more quick announcement, everybody. This coming Saturday is my monthly show that I co-host with the lovely Shannon Rattay and Fran Pierce, Messages from the Enchanted Realms. And it is Fran's birthday. You're all invited. There will be chocolate cake. Make sure to get yours and have some with us. It's going to be lots and lots of fun. And as you know, we do messages from the Enchanted Realms, the fairies, the angels, dragons, loved ones, whoever wants to show up from Spirit World, they're all welcome. It's a lot of fun. And if anything, you'll get some upliftment and maybe a few laughs, because we get quite silly on this one too. So please do come join us to celebrate the beautiful Fran Pierce's birthday as well too. A few more friends have joined us as well. Thank you all for coming. And let me just have a chance to acknowledge Miss Kellyanne Washino. Thanks for being here again. Thanks for joining us. Welcome. Great to see you. Hello, Ashley Page. Good to see you too. Beautiful. Thanks for coming on. And there is our Brian Lar. Thank you, my friend, for coming on, Brian. Thank you, my friend. Good to see you. You had a great show earlier. I had it on while I was getting my makeup on for this show too. So I was listening and really enjoying too. Well, thank you, Vivian. Now you're going to find there was a little coincidence, because my special guests have some green on today too, and where I was wondering, why am I wearing this color? And you see, we're all psychic. And so it all worked out. There's a lot of synchronicity there. So it's quite funny too. Okay. Mr. Angelo, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us as well too. Okay. The question should be, how do we ascend while we are here? And the answer, Angelo, the short answer, and I know you want the long answer. The short answer is we already are, and we already have. And we've already gotten there and beyond. No space time. Oh my gosh. That's the short answer, but we'll get in deeper another time. So, I hope I made you smile there, Angela. So anyways. And Miss Kelly sending good vibes to Naomi and Martin too. So thank you, Miss Kelly Brickle. Great to see you. A little love for each other over in the comments as well too. I see you all are sharing the love and saying hi to each other. That's beautiful. And let me see, Jennifer. Oh, your partner's always around, and happy birthday to him in spirit. Happy anniversary on Thursday, and happy Father's Day to your partner as well too. I always thought it was really interesting that Mother's Day in the UK and in the US are on different days, but Father's Day is the same. Why is this? I don't know. This is one of those fun facts. Maybe somebody knows that I don't and can tell us too. And I want to also say hello to the lovely Charlene Shaz, also from the UK. So Charlene, if you just popped in, my guests today are also from the UK. So they stayed up late with you as well too. It is past 2 a.m. over there too. So it's very nice of them to agree to do this show so late. I'm very blessed. So with that, everybody, without further ado, I am so excited to be welcoming Naomi and Martin.
Hello.
Good to see you. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Thank you so much for being here with me today.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting us on.
Yeah. Despite the late hour, you two look very awake and ready to go.
Or early.
I think I've forgotten what time it is now. I think we're just here now. Just take it as it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Having done these live streams for a while, I notice my friends over in the UK don't seem to sleep. I don't know if it's the afternoon coffee or tea, but y'all are up in the middle of the night. It's like 2, 3 in the morning. You're posting on Facebook. You're on shows. Do they ever sleep? I think we're spoiled on sleep over here in the United States.
Yeah. We do tend to wake up around this time anyway and have a chat. So we might as well be talking to you and everybody else. It's lovely.
That worked out great. That worked out great. And hello to everybody who's joined us. I see a few more people have popped on too. And I just want you to know I see you, I love you, and I'm really happy that you're being here. And definitely coffee. Jennifer says she's got little ones too. So that helps a lot. I may have had some myself before the show, so I've got my caffeine drip on too. And Kellyanne is saying, "Who can be sleeping when you're having fun?" I love that. I love that. What a positive time. And yep, Father's Day is the same. Mother's Day is different.
Yeah.
Do you know Naomi and Martin why?
No clue.
I
don't either.
No,
I don't either.
Mother's Day fell on my mum's actual birthday, so she had a double hit this year. Yeah, so that was good, but I don't know.
Did she get extra queen? Did she get extra queen treatment?
Absolutely, she did. She went for it,
as it should be. That's a way to go.
Yeah.
So we've got some hellos coming into you in the comments as well too. They're giving you a nice welcome as well too. So all right, I'm gonna read your bio for everybody as they're getting to know you, if that's okay. So thank you for allowing me to share with you as well today too. Oh, and my notes just got really, really large. So let me just, when you just click on the corner and it just goes poof like that, and you're like, wow, look at that. All right, everybody, my good friends, just to help you get to know Naomi Martin a little bit more, they are Naomi Jordan and Martin Pemberton are relationship educators, authors, and the creators of The Space Between, a relationship framework helping couples understand what is happening beneath conflict, disconnection, intimacy struggles, and recurring patterns. Together, they specialize in emotional safety, human behavior, and relational dynamics, where they help couples move beyond surface level communication advice to an understanding of why two people who deeply care about each other can end up feeling lonely, reactive, or stuck in the same painful loops. Their work focuses on what happens before communication breaks down, the nervous system responses, fears, meanings, and protective patterns that quietly shape relationships from underneath. They are also the authors of The Space Between Us, Sex, Intimacy, and the Conversations Couples Avoid, Unleashed, Reclaim Your Exceptional Life, and The Hollow Victory. Unleashed, Reclaim Your Exceptional Life is by Naomi Jordan, and The Hollow Victory is by Martin Pemberton. So congratulations on being authors, my friends, too. Together, Yeah, together they work with couples, individuals, and groups through programs, workshops, books, and digital resources designed to create healthier, safer, more conscious relationships. You can find Naomi and Martin at just 1211coaching.co.uk, and we'll be putting that across the screen for you. On Facebook over at Naomi C. Jordan and Naomi Jordan. And this is all in the description. That would be a little bit too hard for her to put all that out. But this is all in the description over in the YouTube and on Facebook when you click on the event itself. And over on Instagram, Naomi _just 1211 IT. And on Facebook, Martin is on Facebook as well too. So I didn't want to get that too confusing on all of that, all of the links there too. But you can find them on Facebook and Instagram, my friends too. And all of that information is available in the event description itself. So, and once again, thank you again for joining me here today. May I start with asking you, how did you come to create the space between?
Yeah, who's going first?
You go. You go first.
We've been on our own sort of journeys and our own experiences. Both been married previously and gone through difficulties, challenges, if you like, throughout relationships. Came together, met each other, didn't we? When did we meet? 2020? No, just end of 2019, 2020, beginning of. So sort of just around the start of COVID, and we in the UK, and I think everybody was going into lockdown, in that first lockdown in the March. So Martin was living about 3 hours away, weren't you? And he had to make a decision where to live. So we were told at the time, Jennifer, that lockdown was only going to last 3 weeks. And here he still is. He's still here. He chose to come and move in for the 3 weeks.
Is it over, Jennifer? I didn't know it was over. I'm just still here. So yeah, apparently.
So
7 years later, yeah.
Time is an illusion, Martin.
Exactly. It could still be, we're still in that 3 week bubble.
I didn't get the memo.
But throughout that time, we've been on our own sort of development journeys. We've been through our own stuff, that's my technical term. Our own experiences, and together we've learnt lots of things. We've, done qualifications and things, and put this program together because relationships, they're a core part, aren't they, of our life. And we're not just talking romantic ones, we're talking about with everybody. You have a relationship with everybody you meet, whether it's friends, family, romance, or your hairdresser, the lady at the checkout when you meet. The relationships are a core part of us as human beings.
Yes, exactly. And it likely, or maybe definitely, is where the most growth can happen, because the most potential, because there is so much conflict and love and so much going on. There's just so much going on. So this is one of the main reasons why I created this show. Exactly. I felt guided to create it, because what better way to help us grow and ascend and expand than through our relationships. But if our relationships are healthy, our world isn't healthy. And so it's all hands on deck to help people have healthy relationships. So thank you for what you're doing, because it's very needed. God bless you. And as Vivian, she's a psychiatrist over in Hawaii, she's saying loneliness has become a public health crisis. So your work is greatly appreciated. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so you saw a need and you filled it, and you experienced it on your own as well too, and followed your guidance. So well done. Yeah. All right, let's get into it. Communication.
Yeah.
And you say sometimes talking more is not the real fix.
Not always.
I think I get that. Let's see where we go with that.
Yeah. We have a lot of couples come, and communication is the word that they use, isn't it? And it's they always think that that's the problem. So people try new techniques, don't they? Or they struggle to be able to get their point across, or struggle to say how they really feel. So most people are good communicators. Most people can communicate at work. They can communicate out and about. So we always want to know, how come it's hard? What is it that you can't do then with the person that you're meant to be closest to, or meant to be able to? So we thought, how come? What's going on? What stops people from being able to do that? So our work a lot of the time focuses on what's happening underneath the surface, the emotional safety. How come I can't say what I want to say? What stops me? Couples use a lot of the term sort of like walking on eggshells, bits and bobs like that. So when we talk about the space between, this is where the space between approach came in. It's instead of looking at the two people, we look at that invisible space that's between the people. And whilst most people are focused on individuals, what can the individual do? Let's do this, let's do that. We say, well, how come? What's happening between them? And this space between, it comes fully loaded, doesn't it, with the past. It comes fully loaded with belief systems. It comes fully loaded with experiences that both have had, meanings, protective patterns. So to keep trying to push communication, to keep trying to say, well, just say this or just say that, we're not talking to the person in the present at that time. We're talking to their past self. And that's what this space between is fully loaded with. Hence why you can say something to somebody and how they hear it can be completely different to what you meant. And then you end up with this explosion or an argument. And that's where the confusion comes with communication between couples. They say, but it wasn't about that. I didn't mean that. And they're right. They didn't mean that. But the meaning that was interpreted was different.
And as well, I think often in couples, there's two different communication sort of styles as well. So there's the pursuer or the withdrawer. Typically, not always, but often it's the female who pursues, and it's the man who typically has learned to withdraw. And often that causes a problem as well, doesn't it? Because if the man withdraws, the woman maybe thinks that he's rejected her and he doesn't like her, or he's not in love with her, or he doesn't respect her. And then sometimes if the woman's pursuing, just wanting answers, the man can't handle that as well. So that's where a lot of the miscommunication or misunderstanding of what each person's trying to actually do is missed. But when both parties understand that that's a style that each has developed throughout childhood, is the thing that they use to try to be seen and heard and feel significant, it changes the way that they both respond to those reactions, whether someone's pursuing or withdrawing. And so that's where you create time and space after the reaction to start to notice patterns within each other and yourself, which then changes the way that you actually do communicate with each other.
Yeah, that is absolutely beautiful. I love that. And what you said is so perfect about, like, you're not actually talking to the person, you're talking to a version of the person. And that it could be a younger version too, or a protective version too, that has learned, I come out when this part of me is feeling threatened. So I come out, and so when you can learn to recognize the shift in the person's personality, because they don't always realize they're doing it, but if you can recognize it in each other, oh, wait a minute, this just happened, then you can stop it before the drama ensues, right? And go, okay, wait a minute. Who's talking to who?
Where's that come from within me?
We call it notice, catch, respond. So you'll notice the feeling, sensation, thoughts, whatever come up in that moment, the reaction, and it's the catching it that gives you the space and the time to respond differently after you've felt the reaction, and that's the practice. If you can practice understanding your own reactions and thoughts to ththings, you can already almost get ahead of the curve before you will then cause maybe have an argument or go into conflict.
This is where our own self-awareness, being awareness of ourself, and being able to not just monitor what somebody else is doing, but monitoring our own behaviors and responses and thoughts. Okay, why did I do that? Not just why did he or she do that? Why did I do that? Who was the me in that moment? Which me? Who was
that? Where was that? Arguments start to make sense then to couples, and that's what we kind of want. We don't see conflict as necessarily a bad thing, because a lot can come out in conflict, as we all know. You just suddenly can explode, can't you? So in that sense, then, when couples have an argument, when they're first starting out with this, we never say, oh, it's a bad thing. We always ask, what was said, what came out, and then that's where we can start to explore, get curious about it. because then the arguments that they're having start to make sense. The distance between them starts to make sense. The intimacy struggles start to make sense. And then most couples then stop seeing each other as the problem and more than how can we work with this space between? What can we now do with this? Yeah.
And then the space between shrinks a little bit and they get a little bit closer too. I love that. Oh my God, I love that so much. And I was thinking too about what you said about like the pursuer and the withdrawer too. And what I've seen out there is one of the loops that gets created is then the man who may be more of the withdrawer and less communicated maybe wants to communicate and express more physically, but then if the woman hasn't gotten to express herself emotionally and verbally, then she's the one, then she becomes the withdrawer, and so you get caught in this circular motion, you know. And it's like, and it doesn't have to be that way if we could just learn each other, like learn and understand some of these tools. So thank you for doing that. I imagine you've probably saved some marriages and relationships over the years. Thank God for that.
You know what it is as well? It's lovely for the individual because we talk relationships with each other, but it's that relationship that you have with yourself, as cheesy as it sounds sometimes, but it's such an important one because it's the one you take everywhere. And we have so many sometimes we work with the couples together, but we do little bits with them individually, and it's lovely when they say things like now I know why I do that. Oh, that's where that came from. Oh, that's been playing out in another part of my life as well, because you do take yourself everywhere. So if you don't understand your reactions to things, they are playing out in outside of your relationships, in work and everywhere like that. So it's lovely to watch them.
A lot of the work we end up doing as well is then just helping people accept themselves for who they are and what they are, I think, more importantly. And then it's that understanding of what you are that then enables you to move forward differently, doesn't it? That's what we've found with a lot of couples. Often we'll say to them, you do know you're built to survive, not for peace, don't you? If you're built for survival, and actually even that one comment changes the way that they look at themselves and each other, because if I'm built for survival, then my natural reactions in a crisis moment or when it's heated is going to be to protect myself, and that means I might attack Naomi in that sense, move forward. But if I understand that I'm a survival creature, I can work on the peaceful side, the loving side, because that's the side that I know I have to work on. But if I think I'm naturally always going to be loving and never have a reaction, I'll always be upset and disappointed and maybe ashamed in myself for having those reactions. So even when we work with people and they'll say, oh, I've reacted again, and we're like, no, that's okay. This is part of the process, because it's the forgiveness of self and the acceptance of self which helps you to move forward. While you're in shame, guilt, anger, and all these other things, it's not... It prohibits you from making that next step, isn't it? So we have to teach people that we're not condoning certain behaviors, but what we're saying is your reactions, maybe your anger in that moment, is normal, but then how do you handle that after the reaction? And it's not a failure to react. It's that it's how proficient and how good or how quickly can you catch that first reaction and then choose differently after.
Right. Yeah. So kind of learn to course correct faster over time.
We're always going to react, aren't we? Because, you know, I don't know if we're driving in the car, maybe we all maybe have a moment when we get angry with the driver.
Oh, I've never done that.
Exactly. You're at a certain level, Jennifer. You've done this for a long time, right? So we have the reaction, but it's quickly the realization of that person's not driving really slowly or whatever to annoy me. That's just what's going on for them, right? But it's catching the reaction in the moment of me, my impatience, or what is it? And so rather than blaming that other person, I can go, hang on, what is it in me that's impatient? Like, how come I get to be that way? And in that moment, you create a different mindset and an approach to people, don't you?
Yeah, it's quite a balance of understanding the other, but then also the self-reflection. So reflecting back and forth, because it's all the mirrors, you know. We're all mirroring each other, and then they're mirrors of us, and we're mirroring them, and then we're and this is really how we learn to understand one another. And you could say the divine knowing itself through all of these mirrors and reflections too. It's a little cray-cray sometimes, God, but hey, it's the way you designed it.
We do have a little joke sometimes with the couples to say, you do realize that you're each other's greatest teachers. That's what we always say. You're actually teaching each other a lot of things. Sometimes they don't find that funny to begin with, but then they realize what we're saying.
I love that. Miss Vivian is saying, when we are close to someone, they can push our buttons so quickly. We need to check our buttons periodically, don't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's that lovely, I saw that somewhere as well, which is really interesting because I saw that only last week. Whereas if you can have as minimal buttons to press, the calmer your life will be. So it's about how many buttons have I got and how many of them can I start to explore and maybe get rid of. It's a really lovely thing. Yeah, I
love it. Oh, those buttons. I get it. Okay. All right. So then we're also going to talk about you're talking about these small things, these little arguments that that escalate conflict too. And so why the little things don't feel little.
Yeah. Couples don't tend to, they think they're arguing about the thing. So the dishwasher, that's a classic, or clothes on the stairs. I mean, ladies, we'll talk. How many times do we leave stuff on the stairs that then just gets walked past and not taken up, or somebody's, I don't know, forgotten to buy something from the shop that you asked for. That's what couples come arguing about, the small things. When you start to explore it, there's a deeper layer to that. And this is the meanings that we talk about, this meaning that gets attached to. What does it mean if someone has walked past the things on the stairs? What does it mean if someone's forgotten to buy the thing that you asked? What does that mean? What have you made that mean? Or leaving the cupboard door open? Oh no, that's me. I leave the cupboard door open. And the fridge. I've got a new fridge.
Jennifer, when I got with Naomi, and you start to notice each other's little quirks, don't you? So I always know when she's been in the kitchen because there's doors everywhere that are open. So
what I've done, to leave a trail.
So she used to leave the fridge open, but what I've done now, I've bought a new fridge. It's got an alarm on, so it bells on her when she's left.
Oh my god!
It beeps when you've left the door open for a couple of minutes. So now I can catch her out.
I think it's 30 seconds. So then he hears me from the kitchen and the fridge is beeping and I can hear him laughing from the living room.
Mine beeps too. It's actually hard to close. It just doesn't close. It doesn't close like the way a lot of other fridge doors close. And so it's very easy for it to not go all the way for some reason. And so fortunately the alarm, that works because I hear it. And I'm like, because if I don't hear it, the food goes bad. But I can imagine the cupboard doors. There is something you could find that endearing. Like, well, that's you can see the endearing part.
I'm working on it.
But you know what? Like, that's one of the things actually that could become a real annoyance for someone, or you could just see it as something that somebody does. I just go and close the cupboards because it's not a big deal to me because it doesn't represent. She's left the doors open, but it's nothing.
We equate it with consideration, with respect, with they don't care about me, they're not listening. I've told them a million times, like that's the things that we go through in our heads,
and that's what couples think that they're arguing. They think they're arguing about cupboard doors, but it's I've said this to you. How come you haven't heard me? You don't listen. So you end up then with one person feeling very unseen, one person feeling unheard, unimportant, loneliness, alone. So loneliness isn't when someone's physically alone. Loneliness can happen within a relationship as well if they're not feeling heard. So the cupboard doors or the dishwasher is just simply where that feeling landed for that person. So the argument is very rarely about the thing. It's what the thing has meant to that person. And again, you're dealing with people from their past selves. You're dealing with experiences that they've had growing up. So that's what you're talking to there.
And so then it's like before like getting into the drama and the struggle and the reaction, is like, wait a minute, what's really going on here?
And these are those micro moments that we talk about, like Martin was saying, the micro moments that happen before the explosion can happen, before the conflict comes. So we always say, notice this sensation that you have in your body. We're all tuned into energies, aren't we? And we're to ourselves. So this sensation, you will feel something within you, this annoyance, a frustration, chest tightens. Some people go a bit hot. Then what we ask couples to do in that moment when you feel that is tune into the story that your mind has just started to say about the situation. Oh, yeah. Naomi's left the cupboard doors open again. I've told her that before. How many times do I have to say? This is really... So tune into the story where your mind goes, because we are, as human beings, she never listens to me. It's so disrespectful. The stories, we are brilliant storytellers as human beings. We love a story. We're told stories when we're little growing up, and we carry on doing it as adults. But it's interesting to just tune into what those stories are, because the story then leads to the reaction. And this is then where we see, this is the bit then that couples are trying to deal with, is the reaction side of it. But it's at the end of a chain that has been running and always runs. We're always telling ourselves something about whatever we're doing. Even if we're sat by ourselves, we can chat away to ourselves, can't we? You can feel it within you.
Right. So there's a nervous system response, and there's a heightened energy. And I've learned that it's all in how we're interpreting the response too, because it could be also excitement too, right? Just like nervousness and excitement can be kind of like the same response too, but it's the story that we're attaching to the sensation. But if I think some people, they like a little bit of intensity. They get bored, they like a little bit of intensity. And so there's this subconscious creating of dynamics and things too. And so then your body's like, ooh, look, this is exciting. We're getting into a drama now, right? And so sometimes I have to be a little careful, because I'm like, some people, they like the little dramas that are coming out, but they don't think they do, but they actually
That's really interesting you said that, because we work with a lot of men and women. Women commonly say this more often when they are wanting to end a relationship, and when you ask why, it says, "Oh, because he's too nice. It's calm. He's too calm. It feels weird." So the drama is something that they've experienced, and that sort of adrenaline rush, the stress, has become like a bit of a drug. It is. The body has become addicted to that feeling. Therefore, when somebody is calmer or does not create maybe as much drama that they're used to, it feels very uncomfortable. So we ask them, is it that the relationship isn't working, or is it that you are feeling very uncomfortable within something that has been, you haven't experienced before?
Right, exactly too. And so then we're mistaking like things becoming peaceful and working to maybe boredom or like, and then you're like almost feeling like the love has died or something, but it hasn't. It's just changed, and actually maybe even elevated into a much healthier stage perhaps too, but the mind is then confusing it. So that leads us to the next part, which is the emotional safety. And so on one hand, we have to feel safe enough to communicate, to express ourselves, to say what we want and what we need, which is very hard for people. I think probably women a little bit more than men, but for both, especially when it comes to intimacy too. And then on another hand, not to mistake the feeling of safety, which may be new to somebody, for the wrong thing, not to mistake it when it actually could be a good thing. It actually could mean progress.
Definitely. It's uncomfortable, isn't it? Any sort of growth happens in that uncomfortable feeling, because if it's uncomfortable, and obviously in this situation that we're talking about now, is that it doesn't necessarily mean bad. It just means you haven't experienced it as yet. So that, how can you sit with that uncomfortable feeling to explore it more? But emotional safety is so key. Lots of couples say we just want to be happy, or which is great, but happiness, it's a fleeting emotion, as they all are. Happiness comes and goes. To be happy all the time, is it possible? Majority of the time we can be, but we always talk about safety. What about feeling safe within the relationship, and not just physically, we're talking this emotional. So emotional safety is that feeling that we always say, that can I be honest with you and we still be okay, we still belong, and I still belong here? Can I tell you the truth of my experience without the fear of being rejected or criticized or humiliated
or abandoned?
And to us, that's really important then to explain to couples what emotional safety actually is.
And that is a normal part of being human being. It's one of the 3 core drives, really, which is to feel safe, to belong, and to be significant. So do I belong? Am I safe? And do I matter? That's what every human being on the planet's looking for. But if those things aren't met, it starts the whole process of all the past experiences where rules were written in childhood, which create patterns, which then we see the behavior on the surface level. So one of the things I suppose that we do is that most people see the behavior and they try to deal with that on the surface, but the way that we work, we probably go down 4 levels underneath that, right to the actual drives of a human being. Because once you understand what drives are systems, when you made these rules up about what a good relationship wasn't from your childhood experiences, you start to see patterns forming. And when you can see the patterns, now you've got a chance of being able to change those patterns if you want. So it's almost like not ignoring the behavior, but again, looking under it's never the dishwasher. What's happened underneath all that for that human being that has signified something that behavior means. And if you can understand that it runs much deeper than that in yourself and the other person, now you create the opportunity for more understanding, more compassion, more forgiveness, and then we can start working together rather than against each other unknowingly. If that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. It is amazing though, because it's like when we're reactive, then the other person we're convinced that they're against us, and then the person you love becomes the enemy, and that makes no sense.
Absolutely.
Right? Because it's somebody that you love and care about, right? But that's what happens in the mind when we go into protective.
Definitely.
Well, I think as well, if that person represents what they represent to you, and that's much more meaning, then the reactions are going to be greater anyway, aren't they? So that it hits you a lot harder when it's someone that you love, because the more significant to you, you want to feel safer and belong with that person. And so that's why these reactions can be very visceral and different, because as we talked about, that chain that starts, if there's a rejection, fear of abandonment, as you mentioned, and then ultimately that leads to physiologically, biologically, was the fear of death if we were abandoned. So
exactly,
we often say to people that fear of failure works down the chain so quickly that to the nervous system it feels like the fear of death, and then that's why the response is often disproportionate to the actual thing. But to the nervous system, it's doing its job to protect you from dying. And so a rejection,
very existential.
It happens at such a speed without our awareness of it, that then we just think that's how we are, or that's just who they are. And so
it's interesting.
It just opens your eyes, and I think for me it created space between my reactions and then how I acted after that. It just gave me that breathing space. And that's the space between.
That's the space between. I love it. And you're right.
Oh, go on. Sorry.
I was just saying, it happens so fast. I mean, I've learned to be able to spot it. I'm not perfect at it, but I continue to grow in being able to spot it within myself and with other people. But it really is. It's like you've got one person, and then when the reaction happens, this has happened, right? And it just happens so fast, and they don't even know. You don't even know it, right? And so, but you have to learn to become aware of those quick responses, and then see, oh, wait a minute, something just shifted. A protector just came in and took control of the wheel right now.
I often say it's like having a bodyguard. But he's not very good. He can't be front of house, but he'll protect me if I need him. But he can't be speaking to everybody, because he's not very.
If your bodyguard is a teenager, it's just not going to work.
Socially, it's not very.
But, you know,
it's really good.
The thing I noticed as well, though, for a long time, I rejected that part of myself. When actually it was only when I accepted that part of myself that then we were able to join forces and play nicely.
So that part of yourself will save your life in situations. You need that part of yourself still there. It is protected for a reason. It just sometimes now the threats are they're not the same maybe as before. So you have to check in. Is is this necessary?
He doesn't know that somebody calling me a name is not the same as somebody trying to kill me. So he just responds accordingly.
Right, exactly. No, but you do bring up a good point, is that those protectors do have values, and then in the right time, they can be the right person to help you like set a boundary when you need to set a boundary and things like that too. So good point. We're not trying to eradicate, we're just trying to mature and integrate. So it works on a more positive, higher level. Okay, I love that very much. Out in relationship land, there is a lot of talk about emotional safety, especially when it comes to women. Like the women are just saying, we want to know that our emotions are safe, but we keep getting told we're too dramatic. We keep getting told you're worried about that again. Like, why are you bringing up that again? Like, so these are like really common, I guess, I don't know if I want to use the word complaints, but and then this trying to help men understand like what that looks like, and how can you be able to hold the space or stay present and grounded and not get reactive yourself. So I see a lot of that dynamic playing out in relationship land, in that sphere and kind of thing. But I really like how you phrase that, because both people need to feel emotionally safe. It's just, and both people are responding differently to that too. So it's like, how do we get things more cohesive and coherent?
We have to make that emotional safety is so key for both, and it's recognizing that both men and women require it. Men usually 9 times out of 10 are the withdrawers, so what then happens is they get labeled as emotionally unavailable and all of this, but actually that's not the case. When we speak to the men, they are very emotionally available when the space is safe to do so. So women are bringing the fears of criticism, rejection, humiliation, and so are men. It is the same stuff that's working underneath the surface. It's just people are then treated it differently. It's different for each. So as women, as most, again, I'm not talking for all women, but majority of the time we are the pursuers. We want answers. We want to know, how come this? Men, and again, I'm generalizing, I know I am, but just from our experience, men have withdrawn. They haven't ever been, growing up, maybe encouraged to talk about feelings or open up, or if they have, they maybe have been laughed at. Because you talk about, so Martin is an ex-pro footballer, so
soccer player for the Americans.
Soccer player.
You still look pretty fit, Martin.
Soccer player. But talk very much about the dressing room and being in groups of men. It's not safe for men to open up about feelings. So
that's so sad. That's just so sad.
Because growing up, there was, don't cry like a girl, or any sign of weakness. Phrases, again, and so this is the programming of young boys. Without, people aren't doing it on purpose. It's just what's handed down. But we learn very quickly what is safe and what isn't, and often it's to withdraw into ourselves to protect ourselves. But then what we're finding is then we get criticized for the strategy we learned as a boy to use, and so we go further into ourselves. And then what I find as well, just has been personally over the years and with many men, is we're either withdrawing or we're angry, but we can't react in that way either, because then we get criticized for reacting or maybe coming out of ourselves. So there's this, again, excuse the pun, there's a space between the withdrawing and who we would naturally be in a crisis, which is to be aggressive, to handle something, to save our lives. There's this massive gap in between that we don't know how to fill, and no one's ever showed us and taught us, and I don't know if we feel there's a license there to go and explore that, because either way we end up getting criticized, so we almost don't know what to do. So I think for a lot of men now, I really look at it differently for us in terms of having that importance of the practice of being able to express ourselves while still it being okay to do so. Because I've worked with clients before, men who've said, I've opened up to the people in my life and it's made them so uncomfortable that I'm not doing that again. So it's, even when we speak to people, it's about what's the reaction like to that man when he maybe puts his heart on his sleeve, or he shows that vulnerability. What's the response? Because if he doesn't get a favorable response, his system will go, that's not for us. We'll keep that one. We won't say that ever again. And then even when he's being criticised after for withdrawing, it's safer to just stay that way anyway. So he'll just go, yeah, no problem. And so, and then again, differently for obviously for women, but if we can understand this about each other, there are differences in terms of how we respond, but ultimately we're all human beings just trying to get through life the best way.
Exactly. And men suffer too. And we, ultimately we have to really look at the way that we're raising children, both boys and girls. I think it's gotten a lot better, but we have a lot more progress to be made. And the core abandonment wound is just within. It's just everywhere. Everybody's got it somewhere. And we also have to look at the way the societal structure and what it enforces and doesn't enforce, you know what I mean? And so it makes me very sad to know, that because I do understand that girls are much more allowed to cry than boys, and boys are much more allowed to get angry than girls. And so women, we then internalize our anger and usually get health problems from it too. And then men withdraw from actually getting to express or feel, and so they're internalizing grief too. So that's a lot. It's a lot for us to hold as human beings.
And if you think of that gap where women have been allowed to be emotional and men haven't, when you have a woman expressing emotions in front of a man, she is going to be too emotional in that sense to him, because he doesn't know what to do with that, because he's never been encouraged to experience it himself. And then you've got a woman standing in front of a man who isn't expressing any emotion, so of course he's going to be emotionless to her because it's normal for her. And so it's the meanings and it's this misunderstanding then that happens, which creates this emotional unsafety, if you like, between two people who desperately want to be able to communicate. So this emotional safety, when it increases, this is where you have this communication improvement. Listening, people talk about communication as in talking, but listening is such a vital skill when it comes to communication. And a lot of the time I do say to my ladies, just listen. Try not to finish his sentence. Try not to preempt what you think he means. And it is not a competition. His bad day doesn't mean that you didn't have one either. We're not competing over who's the most tired, who's done the most jobs, who's this. We're a team, and we hear each other out. So listening is such a key part as well to emotional safety. No better or worse than we're not in competition. Nothing's taken away from you. Appreciate both, see and acknowledge each other for struggles as well.
I love it. Yes, I love it. This is a very balanced approach. It's a very compassionate approach.
One of the words you just mentioned, actually, Jennifer, was grief. Yeah. Fabulous, because this is one of the things I talk to men about a lot. A lot of us are grieving, but we don't realize that we are grieving because we often associate grief with death. But it's loss. But because we've never meant to lose or not allowed to lose because of what that signifies, we've never learned to handle the losses very well. So we've just stored them all up. And that's what a lot of men are carrying, which then prevents them from admitting, because I don't want to lose, because it sets that chain off again of failure, rejection, abandonment, and ultimately death. So this is why men often can't admit that they're struggling, because it sets off that chain without them knowing it. That literally, if I admit that I'm not doing okay, it means I'm a failure, which means I'll be rejected and I'll be abandoned. So that's why often we'll keep our mouths closed, because we don't want to. And also then we're out of control, which is the top of that chain actually, that runs way down. So again, this has been hardwired into us because nobody ever told us. Showed us,
it's like the women's one is more of the sort of perfectionism. How do things look? As women, I need to be a certain way and look a certain way and be spinning all my plates and managing it. So if I drop a plate or if I don't look, so the perfectionism of it all then brings it out into women, and then the failure element always comes out. So it's just spotting these patterns that we've all unknowingly slipped into. It's just knowing what these are your buttons. These are all your buttons.
And I think ultimately we understand that these patterns are not us. They're behaviors, their strategies, but they're not the actual person. So then we have to discover who we are and who the other person is, aside from all of that. Like, who are we without all of that conditioning?
And something couples often say to us is when they go through the program, we're seeing each other and ourselves for the first time. I know, it's incredible when we hear that. And then that obviously is transformative within the relationship for yourself, to see yourself for who you are, not what you've been conditioned to be, and the other person does the same. And then there we go, we've both been seen, we're both now safe, and we both matter. So exactly.
Hallelujah.
Did you say that as couples? Ask yourselves, am I seen and am I safe? They're two lovely questions that we...
Am I seen? Am I safe? I've said very similar to, people need to know they're safe. They need to know that they matter. And it's like, can we be self-aware enough to try to create that container for ourselves and for the other person, and see how we can do. I love it too. Kellyanne is saying, when trust is broken, it takes time to become emotionally safe. I'm that way too. I get it. Definitely understand that.
Your bodyguard will come in to protect you again, won't it? And it'll take a while to convince the bodyguard that it's safe for them to leave your side,
The bodyguard is like, never again, never again, never again.
Then you meet someone new, and then they might just do a slight similar behavior to what happened before, and the bodyguard rushes in and goes,
do you remember
when? And that's the bit maybe where the discernment comes, where you can just go, okay, thank you for letting me know, but can we just see? But we'll stay on, we'll be alert still, but we won't definitely finish that straight away. At least let me see if there are any more signs. But now,
find a balance.
But now I'm aware, because sometimes as well, when you don't see yourself, recognize yourself, it's easy to be taken over by the bodyguard. and then
I love the bodyguard analogy. That's so perfect. And so it's not about trying to make the bodyguard go away. It's just we're working out a mutual understanding. I see you're here. You have a purpose. Thank you. Let's just take a breath before, because this may not be as bad as we're perceiving it in this moment. Let's just take a breath here. Right. I like that.
I said to mine, just blend into the background. You don't have to be stood right behind me. Just watch me from yards away. That's why people sometimes they probably think I'm a little bit crazy, because I actually had to have that conversation with him. Just to lay down some new rules and say, right, do you know what? You got me through a really, really tough time, and I appreciate
it. Thank you. Yeah.
But you don't always need to be right on my shoulder. Right. Trust me to now try and move forward, but I know you're there if I need you. And in saying that, he was like, oh, cool, okay, I'm still needed. I still matter.
Not every interaction is the threat of death.
She left the cupboard doors open. That doesn't mean you have to come rushing in. So.
Not gonna die. Cupboard doors open. I'm not gonna die.
I do it to help you. I do it to, just set you and your bodyguard's relationship out.
She's not wrong, actually, and on one level, that's actually correct. Too. All right,
and he has been tested.
God bless him. God bless the bodyguards. All right, Miss Vivian is saying she is finding that a lot of male adolescents who are able to cry in therapy, and she helps them using that as a positive coping mechanism.
Honestly,
thank you.
We I don't know if it's the same over with you guys, but we have the men don't talk phrase. I don't know, is that a worldwide phrase? But in this country there's a thing, men don't talk. But they do talk. They do talk when it's safe to do so. So that's absolutely lovely to see what Vivian puts there, because when it's in a safe environment, they will 100%. Talk and they will cry, and it's
so Vivian's creating that environment for those men, just lovely. There, and that's why they're able to cry and open up, because again, no shame, no guilt for being human.
It's safe,
and it's almost like the little boy inside is being given permission to come out, right? Who made these rules when he was little, and he's still trying to guide you now as a man. And it's like it's that conversation again. I wrote a poem actually. It's called "Heal the Boy," and the man will appear. Yeah, I'll send it to you later. Yeah, I've got along with this book, I've got a poetry book that I've written as well. But
called, excellent.
Heal the Boy. It's called "Man Will Appear."
We'll have to talk. Okay.
I'll send you that.
All right, I love this. Excellent. I'm a poet too, so you got my ears perked for sure. Kellyanne, hello, Stacia Cherry. She's a friend of mine too. She's joined us too. She's popped in to say hello too. Kellyanne is also, this is important too, family patterns being repeated too, that they've been passed down almost genetically too. It becomes within the cellular memory also. And we have to change that. We have to transform the cellular memory.
Definitely. And we do try and do it. We always speak about, I mean, obviously everybody's situation is different, but without blame of parents as well. So again, relationships with parents can be hard if we feel that we've had this done to us, but actually they had stuff passed down and they had stuff passed down, and it's just this family patterns passed down generations. So you have to become so key. Thank you.
You have to become the first person in the family to do things differently, which requires a lot of strength and courage, because again, unknowingly, if you start doing things differently than the way the family's done things, they'll take that as a rejection and a criticism anyway. So but it's that thought of knowing I'm going to create a different pattern for my children, and then they'll create it. And that's how we create the change generation over a long period of time, isn't it?
It's true.
It has to start with someone in the family going, I'm going to question these things. Not to be critical, but just to go, actually, I don't believe that anymore. That doesn't work for me. And I'm going to do something differently. And that person in the family chain, when you think about what's going to come afterwards, is incredible. Like to be that one who goes, I'm going to question.
And very true. Spiritually speaking, too, I found that a lot of people in the spiritual community, they're highly empathic. They're the most sensitive person in their family, and it seems like they are the ones who are going to be the pattern breaker. And it's hard because they've been criticized for being sensitive, and being different their whole life too. And then to step out of the expected frameworks of family dynamics, societal expectations, and actually live true to yourself takes a boatload of courage. It really does. Because you will get judged. You might get rejected. You might get talked about. That will happen. And you'll make it, right? And you'll make it to the other side.
I saw something somewhere that said about not being normal is actually just creating the least amount of friction. And so you're not going to be normal if you're going to be that person, are you? You're going to. It's not because there's anything wrong. It's because you're creating friction within the patterns that have been created for a long, long time. And again, think of a pattern being different and a behavior being different. It signals a threat to everybody else, and their instant response. Can I get you back into line to go back to how you were before? Because then I'll feel safe. But your behavior of being different actually freaks me out, because now this is not how it's meant.
Right. And then all of a sudden you're seen as the enemy, right? And it's like, and it's like these sensitive, heart-centered light workers who are just trying to like create a better future. You're the enemy. No.
And then they use the greatest trick against you is your great power of being sensitive and aware. They'll try you're too sensitive, for example, so they even try like using your superpower against you often in a way to get to go back to being how you used to be.
Yeah, that's where you got to get really grounded in yourself. But the beauty part is though eventually something gets triggered in the people around you, and they do start to transform too. Whether they asked for it, wanted it, liked it, or decided, maybe just invisibly. Eventually it does. You do start to turn a light on in the dark, and then it's a catalyst for other people to do the same. and you're giving permission for other people to be true to themselves.
Absolutely.
And oh my gosh, what does that take so much heaviness off of people?
I saw another thing the other day, you know, the phrase hurt people. We hear that a lot, but I saw it as well. It said, but healed people heal people, and calm people calm people. And it was lovely how it had a few of them. I'll send that to you as well. It's lovely. And I thought it's so true. Yeah.
And it's like, we don't do the healing in order to heal somebody else. We do it for ourselves, but at the same time, it will affect other people. Right? It's like the bonus, the icing on the cake. For sure too. And Stacia is saying, yep, she's experienced this, her family. She's the sensitive one. Exactly. So she knows what we speak of. And Vivian is saying, yes, absolutely, yes, as well too. And yes, because we're out of our comfort zone. And Vivian is offering over 50 years to get over being ostracized by family for choosing her own husband and did not agree to meet with a matchmaker. It takes a lot of courage to be with who you love. Really.
And if you think then you're dealing with everybody's bodyguards have just come out. So the space is now filled with bodyguards. And that's who are now communicating with everybody. Everybody's threat detectors are going, I don't understand this. That doesn't make sense. That's not what we normally do. So everybody's bodyguards have come out. And then that's what's happening within the community element of it.
I love the bodyguards. I always have called them like costumes of protection, but I think bodyguards is more relatable, you know? She's like, yep, attack.
Everyone's bodyguards are out.
One of enough about the bodyguard as well. We talk about that with people about the three modes. So there's the combat mode, then there's the shutdown mode, or there's the hypervigilance mode. It's a little bit like the Iron Man suit. We talk about it like that way as well. There's three components that the suit goes into, and it's either shutdown, hypervigilance, or the guns come out and we're all action trying to.
It's like this big, Western ghost town shootout,
The shootout has started.
Oh gosh.
We can have a little bit of a laugh when we.
Conflict, you're going to see just everyone's bodyguards come out, next time there's a slight argument or something. You're just going to,
And then now that we're more aware of it, it's almost like trying not to laugh when you see it happening. You just have to compose yourself and God, it's the Wild West.
That's it. You'll have the music in your head now, are you? Everything, Oh,
and
that's it. Kevin Costner will appear.
Whitney Houston, All right, my dears. Why does things like date nights often fail? Is it because it's a quick fix? It's just a Band-Aid without actually getting to the... And I can imagine, go on more date nights, and then you're sitting there, what are you going to talk about?
If you can't connect and you can't communicate at home, you can't. Why would a change of scenery make any difference? So couples are literally then just sitting opposite each other on a date night, feeling exactly the same, full of the fear, full of assumptions and all of that. They're just in a different location, and so
it's probably more performative then as well, because you're out in public and having to create a persona,
pretend like everything's okay.
And again, and then underneath, that's not real. And then even that will be these little micro rejections or these micro cuts that damage the relationship, because again, no one's saying what they really want to say, and often. And it's not a critique of doing this, because it's what we naturally will go to try to fix things. But again, it's at a behavioral level. It's not the levels underneath, because if we don't know about them, we can't do anything different anyway. So it's understandable why everyone tries to do that, because if I can go on a date night and get closer to my partner, everything will be okay. But maybe for that hour it is, but then the patterns come back and everything else that's never been cleared up and that's why couples always say we're all right for a while, and then we just keep going through these cycles, and it's because the stuff underneath's never been handled. It always and we always say, because it's trying to tell you something, so it's going to keep coming up until you deal with it. The
tension builds, and then the conflict again too. And I can imagine some people may think that a change of scenery would be helpful to spark a conversation. But who wants to get into a deep emotional stuff, when you're eating your dinner with all these other people around too? Like that's not comfortable.
It's a distraction more than anything. It takes you out of your environment. You have your dinner cooked for you instead of someone having to cook. But the conversation element, that feeling between the two doesn't always. Then it's hyped up, isn't it, with a bit of social media. So then couples come thinking, well, what's wrong with us? How come date nights don't work with us? But because I saw my friend on social media, they had a lovely time. But again, is that real? Is that all real, what you see all the time? So it all builds. So it's not always the greatest of ways to try and attempt to.
But it's understandable why, because that's what we've all been taught, isn't it? If we can change that behaviour, then everything will be all right. But again, without the layers underneath, the behavior will just repeat anyway.
I can imagine date night would come with maybe expectations too of what's supposed to happen after, what's supposed to happen during, and that could just be too much pressure for one or both of the couples too.
And usually expectations we find are loaded onto the other person as well. So again, we have couples come and the woman say, well, we wanted a date night and he booked this restaurant and I hated it. It was rubbish. So there was an expectation and he failed, if you like, when we talk about this, by not booking the right restaurant. And then he's there saying, and so it just goes backwards and forwards. The expectations are loaded, but usually onto the other person to make this night good for me. So, Martin, we'll go on date night, but you better be how I want you to be and take me where I want to go for it to be okay, rather than just discussing again, but how come we can't discuss it? So it goes round and round and round in this spiral.
There's a little bit of power dynamics in there too.
Oh yeah. And it just plays out like that, and then they keep trying, and then ends up we're like, stop.
Well, that could make things spicy. My beautiful friend Nancy has just made it too. I know she's had a long day work. A good friend of mine as well, and fellow medium too. And she was on our show recently. 39-year marriage, 45 years together. So we had a show too, and so it's like I'm so happy that she made it and got to be part of this as well too.
Oh, lovely.
And Miss Vivian is saying speed dating is crazy. Don't waste your money.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah,
I won't be doing that. All right. I know we've gone over a little bit, but if you're good for a few more minutes, because we haven't gotten to the spicy part yet, which is pressures of sex. Why sex is rarely just about sex, and the silence that comes in with the expectations from both partners onto the other one when it comes to that. That's one of the hardest things, I think, is the physical intimacy and how it intertwines with the emotional intimacy. And let's go there.
Definitely. There's hidden pressures, aren't there, in men and women that both parties carry. But when we talk about pressures as well, it's where have you got those pressures from? When did you decide that was yours? So for men, a lot of their pressures are I have to stay strong, I have to cope alone, I have to fix things, I have to do this. And women, they take on a lot of the responsibility, pressure to keep everything together, people pleasing, a lot of this comes in. So when you combine all of these pressures and then expect intimacy to happen, so with sex, the biggest misconception is that sex is physical, that it's a purely physical act, but in reality, sex is sort of a reflection of what else is happening within the relationship. It's not just a physical act. Speaking from a woman's perspective as well, definitely not for women. Men, yes, it can be, and men, when it comes to sex, and it's in our book actually, there's 2 chapters, one's for women and one's for men, that men, the pressure to be sort of performative with sex and intimacy, that's a huge pressure that men carry, and sometimes
but I think for me and my own experience is that intimacy is just as important for men as it is for women. And I think once you can find that person that you feel all those things safe with and belong and all those things, then the pressure actually to perform isn't there anymore. So actually you just relax. And then when you've got two people who are relaxed, now you've got the opportunity for real connection through sex, which is obviously it's to
and then you might, without the pressure and without the stress and all that, that's when you really can maybe let go, try new things, allow yourself to express, maybe experiment, those kinds of things too. But you have to have the space between first.
It has to be safe. Sex and intimacy require vulnerability. It requires a vulnerability, doesn't it? It is a very vulnerable act from both sides, and it's fully loaded with a lot of meaning, a lot of expectations, and it's a conversation, which is the title of our book, that couples do avoid, but it's one of the most necessary conversations to have, because when it comes to intimacy, when it comes to sex, people come into relationships with different needs, don't they? Different desires, different wants, and some of those things maybe in the past you've been embarrassed or shamed about, and to then say to somebody sitting in front of you who you want to be accepted by and loved by and cared by, it can feel really scary to say, well, actually, this is kind of like what I like or what I'm into and things like that. And it's a conversation that gets avoided, but it's so necessary. But that fear of being laughed at or humiliated or rejected, again, maybe from past experience.
And then bodyguard comes in, you're going to die. I'm coming in.
Jennifer, you don't want him there when you're trying to be intimate. Like it's not.
Yeah. No. Oh my gosh. I think you make a good point. It's really behooves both parties, because both people want things. They want to feel things. They want to experience things. And if both people are willing to put in some time and some effort to do some internal work and some understanding of how they work and how the other person works, the rewards for that are great, which is feeling safe, feeling seen, better sex, being able to express what you need, and it's like, that's a big thing.
Deeper trust as well.
And then we start to heal the world one couple at a time.
If you've got that with the other person and a real deep trust, and you both know that that's the case, then I think from an intimacy point of view and sex becomes very different thing. And anyway, that's certainly been my experience, that being with Naomi and the trust and all the intimacy that we share now is so deep is the relationship. It's never about sex, if that makes sense, in the physical act of it. It's about the connection.
Intimacy doesn't happen in the bedroom. Intimacy happens in all the tiny moments that are happening in your relationship in the day. Just the little things that you do, the appreciation you show for people. We talk very much to couples about love languages and all of this, and learning your love languages, because you'll see then where and how your partner is showing you that they love you, and that's the intimacy part. It's in the conversations that are hard to have. That's what builds the connection. That's what builds the trust, which is the intimacy part.
Sorry, I'm just laughing. I've got a quick story about love languages. So before we knew our love languages, we had a bit of an argument, and I'd gone off to make a cup of tea. And so then when I came back with the cup of tea, Naomi wasn't too happy with me. So then I wasn't happy. But then what we discovered is her primary love language is touch.
Mine's touch.
And then quality time is second. And mine's acts of service and quality time. So now what I do if we ever have an argument, I'll give her a cuddle, then I'll go make a cup of tea, and then we'll sit down and drink it together. But before that, even the confusion around how each other was displaying the love was either rejected or misunderstood. So even in my attempt to go make a cup of tea as an act of service, she then rejected that because she needed a cuddle.
Like, what's he doing? I just want to cuddle. I don't want a cup of tea.
But if you don't know that, you can see that way when each other might get annoyed with each other, even for displaying love in the way that's most predominant to them. Whether you might buy the flowers and she's not a gifts person, so you bring the flowers home, now she doesn't really appreciate your flowers, so now you're upset. Well, I got you some flowers,
love languages
but if you know each other's love languages, it's easier then to repair and understand what each person
and those little
needs,
intimate moments then.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that so much. That's really beautiful. I love the way you two interact together too. So it's lovely to see you as a couple. You have such a bright energy, each of you individually, but then together too. And it's like two bright lights make one kapow too. So that's beautiful. And I mean, we're definitely, it's like one couple at a time, whether it be an intimate partnership or a family relationship or a friendship, because all of this matters too, where then we really start healing the world too. There was one aspect too, and this kind of comes into what we were just talking about, how do we reconnect without the blame, the blameless reconnection? What can we say about that?
Yeah. First off, nobody is the villain in that moment. This is what we say. No one is the villain.
That was the word. Yeah, the villain. That was the word. Yeah.
No one's the villain. When most couples, they're not fighting because somebody's bad most of the time, and it's not because we don't care either. And in fact, I know people say that the arguments actually do show that there is the caring there. When the arguments stop, that's usually, we say that's a little bit of a warning sign that maybe care has started to go, when you can't even be bothered to argue anymore. So sometimes that's a little bit of something to look out for. But most couples are fighting because two people are trying to feel safe, in completely different ways. And when you start to look at it like that, connection becomes part of the game. Then it starts to step in. You're not bad, I'm not bad, we are just trying to feel safe in this moment. How can we start to do that? And curiosity starts to increase, blame softens, and healing then becomes possible. You're pulling two people back together in that moment because they're seeing each other in a very different light. So not villain. Two people are just trying to be safe in that moment. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. One of the other things we say about the space between, an analogy we use is we just ask people to imagine running a bath.
Yes.
What's the temperature of that space between you? What are you putting into that space? Are you putting cold water, or are you putting red hot water in that's going to scald someone? So what am I putting into the space, into the bath, so that when Naomi tests the water, how does it feel? Because you don't just get into a bath there, you'll test the water. So each person, we always say to couples, imagine running a bath for each other. What's the temperature like?
Too cold, too hot. Just right. We want Goldilocks.
They're always
Goldilocks is here now as well.
We're always testing the water. That's the space between actually two people. Testing. What does it feel like in there? Is it nice and warm for me to get in there, or is it cold or a bit hot? So that's how, if you can think of it in that sense, you create that lovely space for that person to step into then. And it's not always easy. I'm not saying it's always going to be just right, but just notice, what am I putting into that?
And we do that through that reaction story and all of that.
Right. So we're doing all this unconsciously. We don't realize it. And so what's beautiful about your work is you're making it conscious to us. And so then people go, oh, I was doing that. I didn't even know I was doing that. It was just, it's almost robotic in the way that the slips, the shifts happen like that. And we just go, oh, and then you're like, who was that person? Why did I do that? I don't know how I reacted that way. I don't know why I said that. And then you're trying to do damage control. And you're like, I really didn't mean it. Because then the bodyguard took the
and then you're not trying in a relationship. You're noticing, and in the noticing, everything changes naturally anyway. So that's what we always say to people: if you notice what you do, you've now got a decision of whether you want to keep doing it or not. But when we're trying to be something, or trying to be someone, or trying to make our relationship work, if we're doing that without awareness, you can try as hard as you want, but you'll come to the same result all the time. But once you can notice, and like you said, make the unconscious conscious, just that is everything so much. It's incredible.
And this is then where conversations can happen with safety. So Martin can come and say, oh, Naomi, when you left the cupboard doors open, this is what my story was in my head. I'm sharing this with you. And I can say, oh gosh, that's not what I meant. Or so conversations become safe to have. The stories that we create can be talked about, the meaning that we've applied, and that's where their misunderstandings can be talked through and seen then for actually, oh no, not at all, that's not what I meant, this is what I meant when I said this. And this is, again, safety, emotional safety, connection happens, and it'll bring people closer.
We've learned so much. Do you have a copy of your book by any chance?
We
like
do, yeah.
Handy that you could show us too?
Just here on the space between.
The space between
us, yeah.
Oh, beautiful. And is this available over on Amazon?
Or is it yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then can we get it through your website as well? You're just 1to11coaching.co.uk.
Yeah, it's on the website, and along with actually your poem books on there, and then the other two books are on there as well.
I can't wait to read your poems too. Okay. Do you want to read your boy to man poem here for us? You don't have to. I don't want to put you on the spot. If you want to wait, you can.
But I started using poetry as a way of self-healing for myself. Away from it, it was like journaling, but I just I did it in a
me too. While you're looking for that, I just wanted to acknowledge Kellyanne was saying sometimes there's medical conditions that can affect sex, and it's difficult to comfort the other person, but it's just being together that matters. That's absolutely a thing.
I think intimacy, that word is always associated with sex, but like we say, intimacy, it's in the little touch points, it's in the little conversations, it's in the compliments, it's in the cuddles. Intimacy is that safety. It's a safety.
The eye contact,
yeah.
I love it.
Found it.
Have you got it?
I have, yeah. So here we go. So heal the boy, and the man will appear, who will have the courage to face his fear. Confident, kind, gentle, yet strong. Humble, loving, knows where he belongs, doesn't require recognition from others, partners, parents, sisters, or brothers. Not from a child, except the one inside. Time to step forward, not run and hide. Become the man you're meant to be, not restricted and angry. Be happy and free. Comfortable inside and outside your own skin, with a positive mentality that's built to win. Win, but not at any cost. Go down that path, you'll surely get lost. Win by helping other people succeed. Be full of generosity instead of greed. There's enough of that already in this world. Cruelty and abuse that's so often hurled. Be a man that loves, supports, and protects. Be a man who has a positive effect. To do that, though, a conversation needs to be had. A conversation with that little lad. To thank him and tell him, I'll take it from here. To live life from love, no longer from fear.
Oh, there you
go.
I know. Yeah.
So beautiful. Thank you so much for writing that. It's just so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Vivian saying, I love that.
Yeah.
And Stacia gives him some heart. Stacia is also a poet as well. She says, so touching. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Jeffrey is saying gratitude.
Yeah.
Jennifer McCormick is saying, love this, Martin.
Thank you.
I told you I had like the most loving community ever. I wasn't lying, was I? No. So, I want to thank you for your time. Not only is it, I think 3:30 a.m. now in the UK for you and our guests who have stayed with us too, over here, like Jennifer McCormick and so forth. Thank you so much for the extra time and for taking the time. We've got your website here, and again, everybody, if you want to purchase their book, it's over on Amazon, and then all of their links to everything are in the description over on all of the Facebook events across the different pages. My Jennifer Rose page, my Medium Jennifer Rose page, the Sacred Spiral Network page as well. Kelly Brickles as well, and over on YouTube on Medium Jennifer Rose and the Sacred Spiral Network. It's all there for you to find it as well too. So please do pick up a copy. You can tell Naomi and Martin know what they're talking about. So it would be a gift to yourself to pick up a copy. It's a gift to yourself and your relationship. So thank you for that. Any last minute words that you would like to leave us with, Naomi and Martin?
We just say couples and in relationships, it's not the techniques you're looking for, it's the understanding of each other. And when you understand what's happening underneath all your reactions, you stop fighting. You stop fighting each other, and you do start understanding. And that's then where love can come through. And we say that love is always present. Peace is always present in all of us and in the world. But what are we creating on top of it? So start to explore what that is, and underneath all of that is what you're looking for, is that connection. It all follows then naturally. Love, connection, joy, peace, all those beautiful words that we're all looking for.
Love is always present and peace is always present.
Always present. It's
just been covered up.
What are we creating that's blocking it out? Yeah.
No more villains.
No more villains.
No more villains. I love it.
Bodyguard can stand down.
Yeah, that was the word I was looking for when we were talking about the family dynamics. The stepping out. That was beautiful. I am in so much immense gratitude for your time, your knowledge, your wisdom, and the love that you've shared with all of us here today. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for sharing in this space with all of us here today. And there'll be more people who will continue to watch it in the days to come as well, too. So I'm very, very grateful and blessed.
Thank you as well. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. And everybody, more shows coming up in the days to follow over on the Sacred Spiral Network. And once again, Embracing Infinity will be this Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. in the UK with my guest, Melissa Callahan. We'll be talking all about the higher self. And Messages from the Enchanted Realms on Saturday at 2:30 p.m. Pacific with my co-hosts, Shannon Rattay and Fran Pierce. And it's Fran Pierce's birthday. Bring chocolate cake, everybody. It's quite important. And next week on The Love Show, we have got Steve and PJ Spur, the lovely couple from Texas, who I know you all know and love too. So they'll be coming on and we're going to have a lot of fun as well too. So please, everyone, thank you so much for joining us here today. Continue to live well, love you well, and keep walking with grace. And we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.